Nope.
All right, it is 7 p.m. on Tuesday, October 22nd, 2019, and we are going to open the administrative board meeting. We do roll call, please.
Yep. Trustee Jen Christensen. Here. Jared Doan.
Here.
John Talbot.
Here.
Dina Simpson. Here. Chris Samples.
Here.
William Luxinger.
Here.
Village President Rick Worm.
Here.
Treasurer Brenda Onabany.
Here.
Attorney David Silverman.
Here.
Out of order, myself, Sandy Mons, and Public Works Supervisor Brett Fergie.
Here.
All right. First thing on the agenda is the consent agenda. Would you read the items on there, please?
Yep. Tonight for approval on the consent agenda is number 1, the September 24th, 2019 Administrative Board Minutes. Number 2, the bills payable warrant list dated October 22nd, 2019. Number 3, resolution number 19-50, a resolution amending the Village of Davis Junction Personnel Policy Manual, sections 9.6 leave, and 9.7 vacation. That is a tongue twister. Number 4 is resolution number 1951, a resolution approving and authorizing execution of an agreement for professional services between the Village of Davis Junction and Integrated Public Resources Operations, LLC. And number 5 is approval of codification of the Village Zoning Code by Muni Code in an amount not to exceed $8,672.50.
At this time, does any board member wish to pull an item from the consent agenda?
Somebody's phone near their mic. I'm getting bad feedback.
Can you see which one's giving us?
Yeah.
And I don't have my phone.
You might be able to see which one's flickering over there. Okay. So back, I'll repeat that. At the same time, does any board member wish to pull an item from the consent agenda for further discussion? I'll entertain a motion.
Where is it? I move to place agenda items 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 inclusively as consent agenda items. Further, I move that all items be considered together as a consent agenda. Second.
Chris makes a motion to place items 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 inclusively on the consent agenda. Williams seconds. Is there any discussion? Roll call, please.
Jared?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Dina?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
William?
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
Motion passes 704.
I move to adopt items 1, 2, 3, 4,
Down your
and
mic
5
too, it's yours.
inclusively on the consent agenda in a single group pursuant to the omnibus vote
You turn the games down.
procedures specified in the Illinois Municipal Code. Move your
Second.
computer away, or the...
Yep, he figured it out. Whatever you kicked underneath John's often.
Oh, John.
Sorry, Chris.
That's all right.
Second.
Chris makes a motion to adopt items 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 inclusively on the consent agenda. Jared seconds. Any discussion? Not hearing any. Roll call.
John?
Yes.
Dina?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
William?
Yes.
Jen?
Yes.
Jared?
Yes.
That motion passes 705.
Thank you, John. This is forward to his mic.
Oh,
Need a new one.
excellent.
Yep, we'll work on that. Thank you.
We have nothing that was removed from the consent agenda. I have nothing this evening, except I will be at the clerk's meeting tomorrow morning.
I have a few things. So as Rick just said, we're closed tomorrow. Davis Junction and Sylvan Valley are co-hosting the Northwestern Illinois Municipal Clerks tomorrow morning in Stillman Valley. And the Black Hawk Hills Regional Council is coming to talk to us kind of about what they do and things like that. So excited about that. So Village Hall will be closed tomorrow until we return. I had a request from a builder who would like some certificates of occupancy for his homes that will be sold in January. He will have all of his asphalt in, but he will have no yard. So as we don't do temporary COs, there is not really a possibility for this to occur. I'm kind of just notifying you guys, as the builder will not be pleased with that, but unfortunately, they've been aware of the rules for the years that they've been building here.
I was gonna say, how many years?
Do I need to remind the board why we don't do that? I mean, I...
Probably not. But it's just keeping our policies
Yes.
the same with everybody.
Right.
It is, and so this is a builder that we don't typically hear, feedback from. However, I confirmed with Dan today, the International, Property Maintenance Code does say that there has got to be some erosion control that won't be in effect before we can approve the properties. So that being as it may, we are going to have to deny some COs, and I just want you guys to be aware, for if and when the developer chooses to come in, or builder chooses to come in and discuss that with you.
Do we know how far along they are on the properties now?
Yes, so, one of them has a final inspection already, 2 of them are scheduled for final inspection. So the properties are pretty much good to go, no grass though.
I have plenty of time to get on that.
That's kind of where we're at, and they've actually
Is it just
installed
front yard?
grass recently.
Yes. I
Yes.
believe so.
Yes. I'm talking the further builder,
Right. Are you
Yeah.
talking Burlington Way?
yes.
Okay, if you're talking the houses that are up, I think they all have sod now.
As of yesterday morning, they did not.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
Just a-
Casper will be in tomorrow morning to double check it. Regardless, at this moment, if I had to respond to him, I'd have to deny him anyway, because 2 of them don't have final inspections done anyway. So, I just want to kind of give you guys a heads up that an oddball is out there, and so that's the process that I'm going to follow. And I think that's all I have.
Brenda?
I have nothing tonight, right now.
We'll go to the committees, community development and events.
So, I have run into a snafu with our holiday party. I finally got a phone call yesterday from Tony, the guy who does the horses and the carriage. And last year when he was here, I had said, same weekend next year. Well, he was thinking it was the second weekend, so he booked us for the 14th. And so I have the community center at the fire station booked for the 7th, and there's no open Saturdays left. So, in my scrambling of trying to figure out what to do, it's either go without it or choose a different date. And I called and talked to Denny Shear, who runs the scheduling, and I am looking at possibly rescheduling it to the 13th, which is a Friday night, and going, instead of from doing a 5 to 7, do a 6 to 8. Now, I'm throwing that out there for anybody with feedback. Because I got to talk to him at like
So-
8 o'clock last night.
So you wanna have the Christmas party on Friday the 13th?
Yeah.
The horse is available, huh?
Yes, because he booked us. And what I was either looking at is a Friday night or a Sunday night. And I'm like,
I'd go with Friday before I go with Sunday.
Yeah, I'd definitely take Friday over Sunday.
Put a whole new glass on it.
Have we done it without the horses in the past?
yes, we always have, but that's when we did, last year,
Oh.
he made
Last
me
year was the
over
first one of this style.
doing it with
Oh.
all the churches and having community organizations come in and do stuff. I think it went way smoother, but that's my only thing, is the fact that we've already sent out letters stating this is when it is, so my other option is to get the name of the people who have it reserved and ask them what hours they're gonna be there.
Could you just do the horses on Friday and have the party then on Saturday?
But it's already booked on Saturday.
Oh.
Yeah, and who wants
Oh.
to do like,
Have you asked about the person who does the horses for Stillwater?
Heaters in them.
Yes.
This is the tree lighting and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't wait that long. I mean, I'd do it up in the month.
Well, it's currently scheduled for December 7th.
Yeah,
I'll
that's
move it up
where
much
it's
more than
scheduled.
Good enough for me. That's Saturday, right?
Yeah,
No horses.
right, I wouldn't have the carriage rides.
We may go without
He'd
them.
be able to, I don't, whatever.
There's only one outfit that does horses?
Well,
It's just too late to,
I have, from when I have been looking in the past, there are some of the ones around here that do it, or that used to do it, have older horses. They have newer ones, they're not trained to do it. Some of them don't have a big enough thing. It's like a two-person carriage thing. He has like a 12-person. He comes from Mendota. I mean, he does come this way quite a bit for different events in Oregon and Rochelle and stuff like that. But it's just, it was a total, and I reached out to him like 2 months ago to check, and he's been busy, and he finally got back to me last night.
didn't we pull a wagon, do we still have a wagon to pull with a tractor, or no? No, we don't have that, no? No.
What about, even going November 30th? That's after Thanksgiving, the Saturday before.
All right. Saturday of Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
What about when
Thanksgiving
they
is
make those,
Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
hay trailers and with a tractor? Can we do that?
Well, I just know when we,
I know a guy's got one.
I know, but the thing we've come across with the hay trailers is, with our insurance, they want sides, like an actual.
Yeah, it's got
up.
sides.
And a lot of people don't like to do it because of the traffic.
Yeah,
That's a
'cause
lot of
it's
things we've come
got sides and
into.
it's got seats and the gate closes too. It's all enclosed.
You gotta be insured.
There you go.
So
I
I'm
mean,
just,
I can get a hold of a guy and if you wanna do that.
I think people like the horses. not
Yeah, I
necessarily
know,
the
everybody
tractor.
likes horses.
I think that's kind of the main attraction.
so that's kind of where I'm stuck at right now. And it's something that I'd really like to get done and not have to worry about. So,
Well,
Tomorrow,
we can
I'm
make
meeting
an
with,
announcement if they wanna go on horse rides, come wherever, meet them the next day.
if you'd like
Or
me
just
to
go.
tomorrow, when I meet with the clerks from all over this
Mhm.
area, I can ask and see if somebody has got some information on who they use for their towns that's
I mean,
different than what
he
we
told me he could give me a name of somebody else, but he goes, I'd like to keep my business and I have my prices set, so I keep getting asked to come back.
If he wants to keep the business, maybe he should lock us in the day we tell him to
Well-
lock us in it.
It was because it was the second weekend last year and this year, that was a total miscommunication on both parts.
We'll
But-
find out what time them people are getting out of
Let's
fire
find,
house, I guess.
let's look into it tomorrow.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
See if there's anything out there.
Um,
See, I would call too and find out on that Saturday if the people are gonna use
Well,
it.
that's my thing, like I
Daytime.
said, I called and I talked to Denny last night, and trying to rack my head about options, and to see, I mean, that was the next thing, was to ask him if he would give me out the name and the phone number of the person I could contact to see what they are, what their time is. Times
They're having a birthday party at noon, it really wouldn't affect
Right.
us.
So, I can, like I said, I can dig further, I mean, we'll see.
I'll ask around tomorrow if I come up
Okay.
with any names, we'll shoot them to you.
And I still don't think it'd be like,
The only option that stops us 'cause the bathrooms, right?
The what?
Only option that stops us is 'cause the bathrooms.
For what?
Since, say, if someone has their party, where the kitchen is and the bathrooms,
Mm-hmm.
basically the only thing that stops us, since most of it's inside the garage part.
Well, we had it, we had everything, we had the food, 'cause every organization did, like last year, our church here, the Methodist Church did the cookies. The Lindenwood Church did the hot chocolate bar. We had, the Grace Fellowship did a skit out in the bay. They pulled the trucks out. We had all kinds of stuff, and I've already had a couple of people ask me about tables for, other stuff. So,
So we just can't do it all in the bay then.
no.
and I don't think with it being, and I know people like it too, but I don't think it would be the end of the world if we did it still on the 7th, if we
Yeah,
still didn't
right.
have it, because with the tree lighting and all this,
Right.
that was really cool. So, I
Mhm.
mean, I don't think people would be,
No.
sure, people like it, but I mean, I don't think they'd be devastated to not come because it wasn't
Oh,
there.
right, I
In
know.
case you run into that,
Well, I know
you know.
people asked at the Halloween thing, or at the fall party too, and I was like, it's just something, I said, there's not a lot out there anymore. You know, and a lot of it's come down to is safety with the traffic of 72 and giving people a quality route that they can enjoy.
Could always just go south through the park instead of going this way.
Well, no, we didn't do that, it was because of traffic on Junction. Last year, we had a route set up, and then he ended up just going the back street,
Specific.
Pacific back to the post office and turned around the post office parking lot and came back. And that was just because it was cold.
Yeah.
So, because we had had that big snowstorm, was it over Thanksgiving, or right after Thanksgiving? So. But that is all I have.
Okay, finance?
Do we have any emergency expenditures?
We do not.
These next two, I don't recall adding them. I think they were being added just for to continue discussion, but I got nothing to add.
They were on last week under you, so we just moved them to this week under you.
I know, I didn't ask for them last weekend either.
Oh.
If this board has no direction on them, I'm okay with that too. They were there for direction and for further discussion because the discussion started getting lengthy at the regular meeting.
Is the discussion.
Well, if they are discussion, let's just throw them back on the committee level meeting.
Okay.
We'll just do it that
Well,
way.
is there any discussion that
Put 'em under
needs to
me.
be-
You have to,
Okay.
you have to give me a reminder as to what it is.
And send out the information on the fees and on the,
I'm gonna come over there.
The burning ordinance was the commercial burning.
I'm aware of that.
Yeah.
The fee,
The subdivision
mowing
fees?
fee, remember, they,
It was
Yeah.
$250.
the fine
Yeah,
plus
it was
fees.
like, yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, and the
That was-
subdivision fees you said were too low.
so we'll send out information for committee level
For
meeting.
the house.
Okay,
The burning is, I don't understand why we burn commercially, let alone residentially, other than
Well, this will give us a chance to
recreational,
discuss
because
it.
we pay for yard waste pickup.
Do you care if I move it to the 19th of November, only because I'm trying to keep the 5th very focused on water and sewer?
Fine.
I guess by the 19th, William won't remember anything. Just take it off.
I'm gonna text if he's gonna be here.
You gotta check and make him remember to be here.
Oh, yes, I do.
I will be.
You will be?
That'd great.
Okay.
And then I might as well tell you on November 5th, I will be late. I know it's water sewer, but
Yes, and you had mentioned that, so,
Yeah.
but you said to move forward without you, and you will
Yeah, I
do it
mean,
as
like,
soon
we've-
as you can.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'll be here as soon as I
We'll
can.
make sure we get them all riled up for you.
Since we're totally off topic.
Well, there's 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, 4, 5, 6. Good.
Since we're slightly off topic on that, just a reminder, there is no meeting next week.
Thank
So you can show up here, but nobody will be here.
Awesome.
Five Tuesdays, gotta love it.
Could you repeat that for Jared, what you're
The
doing?
19th,
Yes.
what's that?
We're gonna move the burning ordinance and the subdivision fees to the 19th.
Discussion.
I'm trying to keep the 5th light because I would like to, I'm hopeful that we will have plenty of public attending with their opinions on the water and sewer rates.
Now, is that accurate, Dina? 'Cause I know you said when you first had it, it wasn't accurate,
What?
the sewer and water rate.
Oh, we had it all updated.
You got it
Yeah.
all updated?
We updated it to the current years. It wasn't not accurate. It was accurate, so I never said it wasn't accurate. I said actually it was done several years back.
Okay.
So we had all the years updated, so it's correspondent with the years upcoming.
So everything
yeah.
that you've received in your packet
So
in
it
the
was
past
accurate
has
for the
always
date
been
it was done.
I've had a
current.
couple people call me about it.
Yeah.
It's like, I have no authority over that. I said, I'm not utilities. I said, you call Dina or call the village hall.
I did encourage on all of my correspondence, though, if they do call you, take the feedback, find out what their concerns are, find out what it is, so that
Yep.
on the 5th you can present that.
There's people that
I told them to call
there's people that all of us know that won't reach
Well,
out
I
to
had
another
a couple
trustee.
people say, this is outrageous, you guys are ripping us off. It's like.
Do they
no.
understand it? Have they even seen it? Have
What?
they even seen the?
Yeah, they said
Well,
they've seen it.
yeah.
They're
Can,
like,
can you perhaps get some more detail as to what it is and bring that to the meeting on the 5th? Because that's really where we're gonna dive into that.
Yeah, I mean, I've had a couple people just, ask
Mhm.
small questions and had a couple people that just flipped out.
What did you tell them, Jared?
I just told them, I said, that's our rates, and I said, it all depends on what goes on with the village. They're like, well, we spend enough money already on garbage, and I was like, come to a meeting.
Yeah, if they look at the charts, they can see where they stand on rates compared to everybody else.
Literally where we are compared to
I
all the
said, come to
local.
a meeting, I said,
The golden goose only covers so much.
Yeah.
Jared, please be aware that the rates that people are tending to look at, those are, proposed, not
Yeah.
agreed upon, not discussed,
Yeah, I told him
not
it wasn't,
approved.
I told him, I said, that's not, you know, it's an estimate,
Yeah,
ballpark estimate.
yes.
And then the other thing too that's really important for people to understand too is we haven't necessarily proposed one final way of doing this. We talked about doing it in a tiered, like, fashion, which that would still be what I would suggest our doing, as opposed to just, here we are now and then here we are later. So it would be a tiered situation where it's not everything all at once and it's over a period of years, which is why we did the trajectory all the way out.
Yeah.
So, and then the other thing that is super important for everybody to look at is the surrounding municipalities and where they're at. And then they also need to take a look at the information in there on what it costs to, actually continuously do the maintenance on the infrastructure that we have. And then they also need to understand that landfill will not be here forever. So
Yeah.
they need to understand that we have to actually, it's not for us to make money, it's for us to be able to provide the funding to sustain the system we have.
And we have to start bringing the rates up before the landfill ends instead of right when it ends.
Shocking.
And, yeah, and it's been something that's been, it should have been done years past, so we have to somehow, otherwise we're gonna end up in a situation where we don't have a system that even does what it needs to do, and we're not gonna be able to fund it because we're not gonna have that. We've been fortunate for tremendous number of years, but we can't bank on that for the rest of our lives. So it's where we're at.
I would
So-
encourage
Again-
anybody who would wanted to speak their mind to come to the board
But,
meeting.
but again, everybody that sits at this table lives in the village, and we all know different people in this village.
Mhm.
Yep.
So if somebody reaches out to you, please, just, I mean, if nothing else, ask them to come to that meeting.
Yeah.
Because it's where they're gonna get the information, they're gonna get the actual information. If they haven't read the documents,
Right.
it would be the time for them to do that. But, you know, I would highly encourage you not to push them off to the trustee that is in charge of it when you have the ability to get them to come to the meeting or share the information. We should all be up on that information as it is.
Yeah, 'cause I mean, it's not accurate right now, but I understand, you know.
Totally
Yeah,
accurate.
Yeah, the
Well, it
information is accurate, the rates
But
are
the rate-
proposed.
Yes,
Yeah,
so that's on the 5th,
yes.
and that's at, what, 6:30?
No, it's 7 o'clock, it's during the regular committee meeting.
Yep. That's why she's trying to keep the agenda light.
Yep.
Saves meeting pay. Agenda light. Anything further, William?
Nope.
We got completely off topic. Ordinance enforcement.
I was gonna say something, but, I'll talk with William about the, mowing fees after the meeting. So
Okay.
nothing.
Parks,
Nothing this evening?
streets and ditches.
Projects are wrapping up. They just have miscellaneous items to complete. The path is paved now. It looks I thought it looked pretty good.
Mhm.
They put in the dirt on the sides now. Are they gonna seed that then too?
Yeah, they put something down on it.
There's still some other areas, they haven't come back and swept yet, have they, Fergie? No, so there's a few things left, and if there's a resident out there that sees something that they think that hasn't been addressed, then they wanna give me a call or send me a text or an email or something, that would be great, 'cause then I can point it out to our engineers who have already pointed out a few things that need to be taken care of, besides the cleanup that Martin needs to do. Other than that, currently, I don't have anything else.
All right. Utilities.
I have a few things on there, and I think some things, there's one I'm not sure about, so I'm probably gonna have to ask a little help on that one. But, the first thing on the agenda is a discussion on the fiber offer from LR Communications from last week. So like, Corey came, and I was under the impression that when Corey came, no one could come up with questions, because at that point, it was a new topic. So if anyone had questions, that's on the agenda for discussion this evening.
Well, Chris wanted me and, William to be here to,
What
Right.
is this proposal?
No, I thought everybody should hear it beforehand.
yeah.
So, he is, and the best way to explain it, and Rick is probably better at this than me, but he is looking to have the iFiber come through and over to connect here
Off the water tower?
Yeah.
Right, you know,
From over there, he's been wanting to do it.
They ran
for
that,
August, I think, last
they ran
year.
that fiber quite a while ago over there. All they want to do is connect into it now, instead of having the wireless connection across the tracks.
And that's what he wants to do.
But to have us do it at the same time, that way it looks like we'd be sharing some of the costs.
So,
Splitting the cost would be more accurate.
yes.
Okay.
So they got a directional drill
Same.
under the tracks and then under the road to connect here, right?
No, it's already there.
It's already under.
All they have to do is connect, they have to do the splices.
Okay.
Otherwise it'd be a lot more money than what they're talking. It's already in place, isn't it?
No, there is
Well, I
some
thought it was.
directional boring on the well
So-
two lot.
Oh,
Or,
okay,
I'm
well,
sorry, well one lot.
lot. It's only directional
Yes.
boring there, though.
Not
Yes.
under the track.
No, they have direct,
Behind and in
Okay.
place.
no,
That's
'cause
what I'm
fiber
saying.
comes to the
It's
corner.
already
at our
across the
entrance.
tracks, it's already over there, we just have to get it into our property.
So it's just,
That's completely,
just gonna connect the wells then?
it'll connect the well, which is our main hub for everything, back to Village Hall.
And that's all Wi-Fi too, right?
Right now, it is wireless across from the maintenance building to the tower.
And how much is it gonna cost us?
Was,
It was
about
Ten?
$10,000 for
$10,000.
installation and
And then-
$915.
Per month.
A year.
No,
Like a
year.
monthly fee?
A year.
No, it's,
It says 900.
oh, yeah, you're right. I'm so sorry. It's annual.
Annual.
Right, it was so it was $915 annual, but then it was, right now, when we bottleneck anything, we bottleneck coming across the tracks, the wireless connection.
Can I talk?
Sure.
Okay, those 20 minutes of listening to Corey last week killed me watching it after the fact. I realized he didn't answer anybody's questions. Dina asked the question that I asked her to ask, and he still didn't answer it. So here's the concerns that I have, regardless of whether or not you guys want to do this or not. They have an existing lease. The existing lease does not cover any of the additional area that he would like to be on our property, so that's gotta be fixed. We have an existing lease that has a reduced rental rate because they were providing us a free internet service that we no longer receive.
I
Then
asked about that.
they switched over to providing, hosting our emails. They no longer do that either.
And I
So
asked
they are
about that.
still, and he did not answer
No,
it.
he did not answer either.
So we have a reduced rental rate based on those things that are no longer factors. Plus, he wants on land that isn't included in the lease. And so an entire new lease needs to be drafted for this. And this board also needs to discuss what you're gonna do about that rental rate.
Well, and so my thing was, and it wasn't even as much the rental rate, and it's not that I'm opposed or for at the moment. My question was in that lease that they have for us, and again, not in terms of what can they do for the village of Davis Junction in terms of us, but I wanted to know what they could do for the residents in terms of if they're wanting us to do this and it's costing us about $10,000. And again, if the value of that is far outweighing what we should, or, if it far outweighs us not doing it, then I'm fine with that. But this isn't something that, and I know your question's also probably gonna be, is it in our budget? I didn't know about it happening this year because we kinda got put off, 'cause Corey kind of drug his feet there for quite some time. And so I didn't purposely budget for it unless somewhere in there it was budgeted for. But, that being said, I'd like to know what it would do for our residents. So I was thinking about, like, over the process of the last week, if I'm sure for them, it's also, what's in it for them is the fact that their service, then in turn, they are able to offer, I would venture to say, more and better service to customers as well, from my understanding.
He answered that, and he said no.
And I didn't understand that because I don't.
Yeah, he said no.
How is that possible?
But
He
if
said
not, the
because it's-
reliability has to be better.
He said that's about
I
it.
would think.
But that's about it. And
So I just didn't know, like, if our residents, so like how I would see it, and I'm just, if it's better, like I said, if the value for it, for the village for the services that we need to connect what we need from the well house to what we need to do here or at the, oh my God.
wastewater.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Then I think it's a serious conversation to have. But my concern is, if we're paying $10,000 for his business to better and grow, but our residents whose tax money essentially pays for it don't get anything out of it, that's what I was trying to get him to understand.
So, two things. One, I did have a conversation with a previous employee who is up to date on all of these fancy things and lingos that I don't understand. And he was around during the initial conversations of this, and his feelings were still the same, that it's actually unnecessary for us to join the iFiber to get, he said it will not change the the feed that we have going on, and it won't clarify anything. You'd have to ask for more details.
I would
'cause
have
then-
to, 'cause we,
'cause then they
we,
start speaking lingo I don't understand.
because every time we try to access the cameras, it just
But
drags.
here's the other thing I noticed, is that he answered it during the 20-minute spiel last week, but I as a resident will never, ever be eligible for his service, because I had it, and they cannot service my house,
You're too close.
We have the
because
same
I am
problem.
too close.
Right.
And so when you say the residents are benefiting, I as a resident,
Well, I didn't say they are.
Well, no.
I
You know,
said
no, but
I
when you
wanted
say
to
you'd
know
like
if they
to see
would.
them.
And I would have
you'd
to,
like to see them,
I would have to be the
I
way,
would never be able to benefit
And see,
from
we
that.
have them.
And so how many of my neighbors also, I had them too, but I cannot get service from them. They do not, with me being 10 feet from that tower, they cannot give me reliable service.
I got the feeling that you meant how could it help the residents, as in like with the...
more reliability.
No, not just that, but...
You mentioned
what-
pricing.
yeah, the pricing, what we were gonna do with the gym. Remember, they were gonna give
Yeah,
residents
I
a
mean,
a
I
minor
didn't know if there
discount?
would be anything that would, I just was thinking that if we plan on doing this now, and I also, I recognize too, Rick, you had mentioned that you'd be for it, but I wasn't sure what we would get out of it. So if we don't get anything, I wanted to assure that our residents did, since they'd be the ones paying for it.
Yeah.
That's
I know every time we try to access the cameras from here,
Cameras, when you say cameras, from what cameras?
wastewater cameras would shoot up to the water tower and then come back across the wireless net over to here.
Yeah, can you call that person I was talking
I
about
can.
and speak that lingo that I don't understand? 'Cause
I will.
he-
Every time we try to access those cameras, we either don't get access to them, or it takes forever.
Yeah, he gave me some technical.
And that's where, that's
like-
literally where we're bottlenecking, is at that point where it crosses on the wireless.
Yeah.
So, but then, so would that be like just $10,000 for making sure we have service for our cameras?
30 for 20 years.
Can I, that's my other question.
And are we gonna
So
help the
he
other
has
service
that-
providers?
He has that secondary fee on there. Is that in addition to what we already paid NIU net for our iFiber, or was he trying to include our current iFiber? So did we just
We
double
could-
to 1,600, or are we still at the 800, or whatever? So I was slightly confused by that fee as well, and I have not had the time to ask or look into that. But that would be my other concern, is that yearly fee doubling?
That's the way I...
Well, we could always look at upgrading the wireless connection as well.
That's the way I
Pardon?
took it.
We could always look at upgrading the
With
wireless
900.
connection, 'cause that was put in multiple years ago.
Where is the current iFiber at right now?
Here at Village Hall.
I'm a no.
What?
I'm a no. Move on.
I mean, if we're not willing, if we're gonna spend that kind of money for one provider to improve his services, whether it's for him and/or our residents, I think then we also should consider helping the other ones or help no one. That would be, so I would.
Well, and the way he split it off was, he was trying to split it off as, he was trying to propose it in a way that, it seemed to me, the way he was proposing it was, if you guys did this at the same time we do it, you can get this benefit out of it, and we get this benefit out of it.
He's trying to increase his business model and provide a better product for his business overall, and trying to get us to absorb half the price.
Well,
That's
he's
basically
saying,
what it is.
I would be a no.
his contention...
He was showing
is that-
what the benefits that we were gonna
Right,
get out of it.
right.
So we're gonna pay $900 a year to acquire 300 yards of fiber.
What it sounds like to me.
What's all the cost?
All right.
Well, I remember being at the IML conference last year, and they were talking about iFiber, like, the bigger towns like Naperville and stuff, they run that in their park for Wi-Fi service. Why couldn't we do that? Extend it to the park.
Because to buy the fiber and then run it to our park would be astronomical.
Yeah, we could do that.
But we've talked about putting Wi-Fi in our park for years.
Well, we're connected to the village hall,
Yeah, but so to extend the fiber is gonna be expensive. So they talked about doing point-to-point Wi-Fi, but putting that many.
though. How many yards do we have to have for this then?
We could do that without having the fiber extended to the park. You could stream music, you could stream the Wi-Fi without doing anything with this new fiber agreement, but it's just not necessarily something that's all that important at the moment. Because Kenny and I think William might have been there too, we've talked about this before. But you
Well-
don't have to improve his fiber to do so.
Well, you can't from 5 feet.
I don't think
Anybody,
we need
does
to
anybody wanna pursue this?
I'm not interested.
I'm not
No.
interested.
Okay, so regardless of what it
No,
says.
hold on. So now we're on to step 2. So if we choose not to pursue this, we still have a company that is asking us for, I assume that they're probably still gonna want the iFiber, they're still gonna wanna drag it across our property,
We gotta
and we
fix our
still,
lease.
we still have a lease that is insufficient for what they want to do. So we need to keep that in mind.
So my direction, so knowing from the board point of view, my direction to him would be what specifically? I mean, I know obviously there's 3 of us currently that are not interested in doing, I don't know.
There's 5 of you that aren't interested.
I didn't hear the other 5. I heard Chris, myself, and,
John is no.
oh, John is a no, okay, all right.
I gotta look that way.
So if the answer is no to that, then the next step is he still interested in doing it? And is he asking to drag that fiber across our property?
So then-
Okay.
Let
I would,
me-
I
let me-
would go at a different approach. Tell him we're not interested, and then let him know that also the lease that he currently has is invalid, and that needs to be
Well, his lease
re-drafted,
is-
and
Well, let's,
Why is it invalid?
it says it's not invalid.
because the
Valid.
But-
resources that we are supposed to be receiving, we are not any longer in
Hey,
exchange,
your
I
choice.
don't think
At our-
that makes
at our
it null
choice.
and void, though.
But let's put the,
So
we could probably approach it this way, is
depending
that
on the
if
language.
we're not interested in the project, but if you wanna proceed with the project, due to the
We'd
fact
have
that
to
you're gonna
update
need
the
more
lease.
space, we're gonna have to update the lease.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
Understood, but
Connect
if he does not, then are we still gonna look at our
the
lease and
plant
see if?
and the water.
Then we wait till the lease
monitor.
expires.
We'll have to wait till, right,
Within
there's
that
no
one.
breach, 'cause we chose to go the other direction.
Right,
To get to the
All right.
water.
But that's how we can
tower
propose it to them.
that is
Depending
exactly
on
how you
what-
propose it to them.
Instead of jumping across.
Say no.
Alright, so,
All right.
want me to call him?
I'm sorry?
Want me to call him?
I don't care.
All right.
I don't.
If anybody else wants to.
Can you, if you do call them, can you just verify that the $915 annual fee wasn't part of what we already paid, it was in addition to what we paid?
It was an addition.
Well,
Was
hold
it?
on, well, no.
I thought it was, 'cause that way that sheet was written.
Yeah, well, here's the thing, his email says that $915, $840 of it is for I-fiber usage from Route 72 and Elm Street to Village Hall. That's what we already have, and we already pay for, so I didn't
I
know
will
if that was
verify
in
that.
addition to,
I mean,
or if he got that number from NIU Net for our current I-fiber.
840's current.
I don't know what our current is, that's what he put in there, but the location he wrote in there is what our current location is.
Who's wind fiber? Is that him?
No, that's the fiber going under the tracks and up Prairie Moon to the tower.
they already pay the vast majority of that fee.
Wait a minute.
Yes, I would say.
So we have fiber already going up
Right.
the moon.
It
It's
goes,
literally just taking it on our property.
yeah, it's at the corner of our property on the well.
So why would we go under the tracks and,
We
Wouldn't.
wouldn't, it's already there.
We clarified that, we wouldn't.
Yeah,
It's already there. It's just at the edge of the property, that's what he said, we had the directional bore into the property. With no more agreements with the railroad or disagreements with the railroad, depending how I wanna look at it.
So you're calling,
I'll call.
Okay, that's fine.
everybody on board here? All right, just so I know who to follow up with.
Okay.
so, now that you've clarified the fact that we're not going under the tracks anymore, and we're paying $75 a year for fiber that runs from down Prairie Moon that goes nowhere, why are we paying for it?
No, we're not. That would be the proposal, if we
Okay.
connect to that line, we would
Thank you.
pay $75 a year.
Maintenance,
Maintenance, yeah.
in addition to whatever we'd have to pay to I-fiber, assuming that it would just increase ours a small amount. I don't know, maybe it wouldn't increase it at all.
We pay more than 840 fiber, don't we?
Our yearly, I think, is right around that.
Yeah, 'cause it's, we got in at the very beginning, otherwise it'd be a lot
What
more.
was it?
We turned it down like 3
I
times.
just got a
No.
bill.
Yeah, we pay like
We're in it
something
now.
a quarter though, or three every
Around
try.
$400 a quarter, around, a little
A
less.
quarter or a
They
try?
raised it, remember, they
Yeah, but are they doing 3? I thought they were doing 3 billings a year.
I just got a bill yesterday with an updated bill,
Oh, and that one has some backdated numbers on it
Yeah.
though.
but I haven't entered.
Yeah, so the number, the 840 seems about what we were paying, which is why I said I was confused as to whether that was an addition or
Oh,
not.
that's
But
good.
it's kind of a moot point if the village board doesn't know.
Chris would like to know.
Well,
had 4
it just,
bills.
I mean, if it really isn't, the annual fee isn't really that much, and he needs to renegotiate his lease anyway, and they wanna pay for the whole thing, that's maybe something we could consider. That's going forward. You know, maybe they're not interested, I don't know, it won't matter to me, it's up to them. But if the fee, the annual fee really isn't an extra $1,000 a year, and it's just an additional $100 or $200,
I'll try to get verification, 'cause I know the fiber, for lack of a better term, sheath is there. 'Cause he was talking about 2 fibers running up there. I don't know if they're already in there and they would just pick up the two, one for him, one for us, or if they had to blow new fiber through it.
We have dark fiber, which we paid for in 2009,
I'll clarify that as well.
2016, so. Oh, 16?
You can't have my notes till later.
Oh, is that your bill?
Yeah, I'm looking.
That might be the backdated stuff. We can talk about it tomorrow.
Okay.
There we go.
I'll give him a jingle.
We good to go?
Go right ahead.
Okay, all right. So the next thing on there is, it's just a resolution, for Stewart Spreading, for the pressing, and it's on there, and it talks about, well, there's two on there. There's one that we had from before with them, from back in April, when we did it last, and then there's the updated one, I believe, from what I saw. So that's for the pressing, so I don't know if there's any more information you wanna share on that, but that's,
Do you have
I think it
numbers
was
on 'em?
12.5 cents is what I read.
That was the original,
That was-
to our landfill,
Okay,
yes.
all right. And then, is that,
we're not going to ours, are we?
so, that's only if our landfill is taking that?
It is not,
Not.
Okay, so,
It was in there for reference purposes
Yes.
only.
Okay.
yes.
because we're still talking about the other one that we talked about last week, correct? The 11-cent one that we were talking about?
Yes and no,
Okay, you want to elaborate on that a little bit?
yes.
Thank you.
The 11 cent
No.
does not exist.
Okay,
That was an error on Greg's part, the guy that did the quote. That was for the DeKalb landfill. He was basing that off the previous year's 9.5 cent pressing. He had the wrong year instead of 19 and 20. The price to DeKalb is 14 cents.
What is that?
The problem with that is, as of right now, DeKalb is refusing based on our lab results from our wet testing. They want all the testing done again. They want dry samples, redo the radium testing, everything else. So radium alone is almost a month-long test. So that's why do you have on there, Sandy, did you give him? We also have a price to wet haul our stuff straight to Rock River Reclamation by Watson Septic.
and that's the 12 cents?
That is 12 cents, correct.
So like, so can I ask, just to double check?
It's on here.
Those two, so like both the, Stewart Spreading and the Watson Septic,
Mhm.
it's still not something that we could put on on for voting technically yet until we find out about who's gonna take what?
So I put
Or-
both of them on there.
I saw
You
that.
guys can make that decision tonight, and we can vote on the appropriate one.
We can make
Can we do
the,
that without
If you think it's gonna
knowing-
be 14 cents to press it and them haul it,
The one in the
Or-
packet is 14 cents.
or
Right.
12 cents to wet haul it and dump it at Rock River Disposal, what's the dumping fee? Is that included in that?
that according to Watson is included. That's 12 cents a gallon to Rock.
2 cents a gallon cheaper.
Well, it is.
No, I understand,
Okay.
yes.
And no
I
pressing.
Well, Yes.
But that,
But does that mean they gotta haul more?
yeah, I would say so, yes.
I mean, a
Well-
gallon's a gallon.
yeah, we have an estimate, I mean, we're guessing around 400,000 gallons, give or take. I mean, we don't know.
No
Well,
minimum.
when they
like
when they
what?
press it, they consider the waste wet before it's pressed.
It's based on gallons, yes.
Okay, so either way, it's the same amount.
Yes, the price is gallons.
What
If
does
you
it
look at the
cost us
quote,
to
It's
do?
gallons to gallons.
We don't.
But
We don't anymore.
If we were,
We got rid of the machine.
I don't
What-
understand.
We don't press anymore.
We sold it.
You have to have a building, John,
Yeah.
so.
I don't understand how we can
well, 12 cents
vote on
sounds
one of
good to
these
me.
if we don't know which place can take our stuff.
We do.
No,
Rock
no,
River
septic
Reclamation can.
Watson
Yes.
can take it, right? They can,
Yes, Rock River Reclamation has already given a verbal to Greg Watson that they will take it, because it's gonna go in a tank and get pressed the same day.
So then I'm gonna ask the next question.
Yes.
Watson Hauling. Are we using them?
Yes,
Okay.
there, I spoke with my fellow supervisors, because I was afraid that question would be asked.
Yeah, Okay.
They do pay monthly.
okay,
There is a small past due at the moment,
okay.
but,
Maybe is there any way in that process then, in this resolution to, nope?
You're talking apples and oranges.
Yep.
Okay,
We did talk to them today, though, and, they did, pay almost half of the past due, and so the rest will be.
I'm pretty sure they'll be able to pay after
After they haul our stuff.
Yeah.
okay.
That's the math I just did.
I talked to the accounting today, and she's gonna look at some things tomorrow, but I think it's just an oversight. So
I
it
just,
should be fine.
my only hesitancy is that was months and months, so I am,
right?
Yeah, I think that was the other hauler.
I also know that,
Yeah.
yes, I do know, so.
Yeah, so anyway, so yes, there is a small past due, but we,
Okay.
knowing that this was coming, we've informed them that that would need to also,
Be taken care of?
yep.
One last question before, you seem to be hesitant about the Watson. Is there a reason?
No, what I'm gonna say is, to eliminate any confusion, if there is any, our landfill is out. It's already been determined. We're too high in radium. Right now, we have one of two choices to make. We either go with Watson and haul it straight to Rock River Reclamation, and we can start any day, or we start all of our testing over again for DeKalb, what DeKalb is requiring, radium, you name it, everything, and we have to do a dry sample, send them, because they also want a dry sample. So we just have to decide whether we're gonna go ahead and take our chances, run all of our lab work, send samples to go to DeKalb and press, or just haul to Rockford.
Why would,
I don't
That's
have-
basically what's on the
I don't
table.
have an issue with Watson.
That's
why,
what's on
why
the table.
would we wanna do that?
Why
Would
would
it
we
be
wanna do-
cheaper then? I'm just saying,
2 cents higher.
hold on.
I'm just telling you what
Those are just the
we're dealing with.
All right,
Yes.
well, I see the
Chris,
point.
if without my
That's-
saying, too much in detail, the reason I sounded hesitant is because I spent several months, a couple years ago trying to fix some billing situations, and I don't want to get into that again.
I actually meant him.
Oh, sorry. I thought I'd clarify it, because I can tell by his voice
No.
that the other one is frustrating because it's too much stuff to do right now, and the other piece of it, like William in my ear here, is like, the Watson is a no-brainer. I essentially have no issue, I just know that I know what that puts on everybody else in terms of billing. So like, yeah, it is a no-brainer
Yeah.
to go with Watson, and that's correct.
What it started out, Chris, is we were just gonna go to DeKalb. We found
Right,
out our
I
landfill
remember
wasn't
that.
gonna do
We
it.
talked-
We were gonna go to DeKalb. DeKalb came back and said, we are not accepting your product based off of the samples that we have. This is what we are going to require. So basically, I'm presenting all of you with the information that Jason Vose and myself, what we have.
Part of that was
And-
based on the cheaper price from the mistaken quote, right?
Well,
Because that's what I thought, never mind.
yeah,
Let's-
we're at
let's go
14,
with-
but I'm just throwing the information to you folks. You guys decide whether it's a no-brainer or not a no-brainer. That's just information I'm giving to you.
Seems good to me.
So,
It's just
I'm
2
with
cents a
Watson.
gallon,
So-
per gallon more.
No, less.
No, Watson is
Watson
2
is
cents
less.
less.
yes, 2 cents less.
Well,
I'm all for less.
well, cents, really, yeah, but yeah.
Watson handler.
So Sandy, if you want to put the one with Watson on there, that'd be,
We can make the
It's
motion.
already on
It's
there.
already here.
oh, tonight is a voting meeting, for God's
Yes.
sakes, oh my lord.
She's on it?
Can I get my question out now?
No.
Sure, if you want
You
to.
have a
Go
question?
ahead.
At this point,
How fast can they get it out? Is this gonna be a?
No
slow
idea. We've
process?
never done it this way before.
But they do have more than just their 2,500 gallon tank truck that drives around?
They've got semis,
Look at semis.
yes.
4,000 gallon?
Probably 5-ish, give or take, yeah.
I would, I'd be okay with it as long as there's a time frame on this.
I don't know what type of time frame to give them.
The only decent thing about this is we don't have to worry so much about coal because I don't have 600 feet of, 2-inch hose supplying water to a press. So
Can that top feed into those trucks?
we are not doing that. It is not,
I just didn't know.
we're gonna go off a pump,
Okay.
yes. That was not designed the greatest, so we're not even gonna use the top load system.
so the dewatering's gonna go back into.
Rex?
Huh?
Someone make.
No, yeah, we're gonna go ahead, we got pump setups that we'll just use and pull right out of there. Yep.
So the dewatering's gonna go, the back usage of the dewatering's gonna go in one of the cells, and we're gonna pump out of the cell, or what?
We're taking it out of the harvester,
Out of our cell?
No, the
Of
harvester.
the harvester,
Out of the
big blue
harvester.
tank.
the big blue tank,
Okay.
yes. And then when that
I
goes
didn't
down,
know
we'll
if we were gonna hook up to the machine and have a hose pump it into the trucks, or what?
we'll go from the tank to a pump to the truck.
Okay,
Yep,
all right.
yep.
Is that
Because I just
resolution
didn't
number, or is
understand
this
if
just
we
gonna
were
be,
gonna hook up to the press, or.
We need a
It's almost the same setup, except instead of the press being there, it'll be a pump.
So, Dina,
Almost the
Yeah.
same setup.
if you choose Watson, that will just be a motion without a resolution.
I was just asking William, I don't have to have a resolution
Yep,
for
you
that?
got it.
I don't have a formal quote to approve anyway.
So would I
You're
have
just
no
gonna-
dollar amount with it either?
You're just gonna
approve
do
to
it
them
not
for
to
sludge
exceed.
hauling?
It's on there the way you want it to be on there,
Not to
as a not to exceed amount.
Yeah, so
Okay.
just read it as an approval and the
All
rest
right.
of that.
Oh, I hate people so sometimes.
I tried to make it easy for you.
Thank you. So I'll make a motion to approve the sludge hauling by Watson Septic in an amount not to exceed 12 cents per gallon.
Second.
Second.
Anybody else?
Adina makes a motion to approve the bid from Watson Septic in an amount not to exceed 12 cents a gallon. Who said it first?
I did.
Jared seconds. Any further discussion?
I'll let you have the next one.
All right.
Roll call, please.
Dina,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
William,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Jared,
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Motion passes 750.
Your number is 52 on the next
I
one.
was just gonna ask you, thank you. All right, and then the next one, actually, I'm just gonna,
Motion second, discussion.
yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna make a motion for approval of resolution number 1952, a resolution approving and authorizing execution of a quote from the Cohoy Group for repairs at well number 2.
Second.
Dina makes a motion to approve resolution number 19-52. John seconds. Is there any discussion? Not hearing any? Roll call, please.
Chris,
Yes.
William,
Yes.
Jen,
Yes.
Jared,
Yes.
John.
Yes.
Dina.
Yes.
Motion passes 751. Anything further, Dina?
No, sir.
All right. Anybody have anything on economic development? I can give you the one, is that I'll tell you, we were denied by IDOT, to let us take the sewer main down 72 again, so we're gonna take the next step up.
What was their reasoning?
They would have a difficulty with the right of way.
Some of the property lines run to the middle of the right-of-way. They would have to condemn those properties to be able to give us the right to run the line down.
Yeah, they own the center of 72.
But I guess the IDOT's willing to pave their road for them for free then, every time?
Apparently.
I mean, it's kind of a ridiculous position.
No, it
Well,
does
they
not.
did it back in the old days.
So, we're gonna take next steps. We have no public. Please come down to the meetings. Every Tuesday, first 4 Tuesdays of the month.
I don't think we need to be cryptic about it. What we will do is we will talk to some contacts that we have in Springfield to see if we can elevate this in the General Assembly.
Still no public? Anything further from the board members?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
John makes a motion to adjourn. Chris seconds. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign.
I had to get in on it.
We're adjourned at 7:53.